If it ain't broke,
Time to blow it up.
what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Truth TV. I'm True Fisher, and today we're about to talk about the Breakfast Club and their problem with moving to Netflix. As we all know, at the beginning of this year, the Breakfast Club and a few other podcasters from iHeartMedia moved over to Netflix, and the Breakfast Club is basically saying the folks from the Breakfast Club is basically saying that their viewership is going down, and there's a reason for that. But I want to play what Jess Hilarious had to say and what Charlamagne the God had to say. Now, Charlamagne the God was talking with Andrew Schultz, and his video is kind of lengthy, but I want to play what they had to say, and then we'll talk about it. All right, y'all. Now, this is what Jess had to say about the move to Netflix.
I ain't gonna lie, yo, since Breakfast Club been on Netflix, man, our engagement, our people be all the fans that we built up over time, well that they built up, I just got here, that they built up over time on YouTube, oh my God, they feel neglected because Netflix was like, nope, we want all of it. Y'all can't have no other social media presence, none. So now we gotta find other content to do that can go on our other platforms. But it's okay because Just Hilarious got that in a bag, shorty. So make sure y'all tune into Justice Thoughts. I started doing a segment where
All right, so now the thing with them going to Netflix that make it kind of bad is because Netflix is exclusive. With Netflix, you can only have your stuff on Netflix. So anything that's going on Netflix won't be able to go on YouTube, you know, TikTok, anywhere else. They'll probably have a clip here or there, like almost like an ad, but that'll probably be it that Netflix will allow them to take off of their platform. So with Netflix being in the picture, they can't necessarily have their their show, like their full show can't be on YouTube because YouTube is a different platform and it opens up, copyright reasons and all that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they was paid a hefty sum of money to move over to Netflix. Them and I want to say it was Chelsea Handler and a couple of other people that moved over to Netflix. They was paid a nice amount of money to move. So their viewership isn't going to be the same as it is on YouTube because Netflix is a completely different platform, right? But let's watch what Charlamagne had to say, and then I'll get deeper into that. All right, so this is what Charlamagne had to say. It's 5 minutes long, and I'll probably be stopping through to give my talk. But let's listen to what he had to say about this.
Dismiss Netflix. And the crazy thing that's funny, the funny thing to me is like people will be like, I'm not watching Breakfast Club on Netflix, but then you constantly tweeting about the America's Next Top Model doc. You constantly tweeting about Stranger Things. You constantly tweeting about the Diddy doc, whatever the fuck it is.
It's what you said though. It's like change.
Well, that's different than a podcast. Those are TV shows that people go to Netflix to watch.
Change is always going to be tricky, and people are going to be frustrated with change, and eventually they'll adjust to it.
And a lot of it is just narrative, Andrew. People, somebody will get online, create a narrative, put something in somebody's head, and then everybody will run with it.
No way.
Yes.
When has that happened ever? I can't fathom that even exists.
I'm just saying, it happened. So now everybody's like, yeah, I agree. But no, I just want everybody to ask one simple question to themselves. What are the viewership numbers on Netflix? And it's not just for Breakfast Club. This is for Joe and Jada. This is for Chelsea Handler. This is for, anybody that's over there. Bill Simmons. What are the numbers on Netflix?
They're not going to tell you.
Now, when you get the numbers on Netflix, then we can have an honest conversation on whether this is working or not. And by the way, if it don't work, I will be the first to tell y'all.
Yeah.
Because I want us to win. If sometimes we got to be the first over the hill to see what's over there, cool. But I'll be the first to tell you if it don't work.
Yeah.
Trust.
It sounds like he's thinking that the viewer problem is only happening to them. That's what it comes off as to me.
I mean, trust and believe. Okay, and I will be yes.
Also, did anybody ever watch the whole Breakfast Club on YouTube, or were the interviews chopped up?
Exactly. It was never the full show.
Right.
It was always segments, like so. And even now, when you go on the Breakfast Club on YouTube, we do put up clips. We put up clips on. So nothing has changed on social media.
That's how I would organize Breakfast Club on Netflix. I would have it piecemeal. And
Donkey Today is piece.
For me, what I would do is like you click on Netflix and it's just like click on Breakfast Club and it's just like, you know how it has episodes and seasons.
Oh, it does have that.
But what I would break it up is like, okay, Donkey Today, and then there's all your Donkey Days. Okay, interviews, and then there's all the interviews, and then there's full episodes where you could just watch the full episode. But that way, if you just want the Donkey Today, you're running that. If you want an interview from 3 years ago that was fire and you just want to watch it again, you get that.
Oh no, but it's no back catalog on this. That's what people don't realize. Like when you go like Everyday Daily.
That's crazy. I would have bought the back catalog if I was them.
You can't. How you buy a back catalog? It's all over the place.
Yeah, I would have bought it anyway.
15 years all over YouTube. You can't do it.
And
that shit, come on, back catalog Breakfast Club would be too crazy.
Yeah, but you're not getting more money for it now.
Yes, you are.
I mean, you're getting like YouTube views and that kind
exactly. Like you're still monetizing on YouTube. But when you go there daily on Netflix, what you see is the Breakfast Club full show. Then you see Donkey of the Day. Then you see the full interview. So those are the three.
I love it.
Because they organize it like how the podcast.
I would have just licensed it like they do Seinfeld or Friends or whatever. I would be like, yo, give us your whole back catalog and we're going to give you a licensing fee for the length of the contract here. And it can also be on YouTube, but I just want you guys to get into the flow of always coming to Netflix to watch your Breakfast Club stuff.
Well,
that's what I would have done.
I don't want to say too much because I have ideas. And the last time I had an idea, which I knew was going to happen, like I knew YouTube was going. I knew, and I said there's a brilliant ideas episode where I was like, you know what, I'm not going to say this because I don't want to give them no ideas. I knew they were going to suppress the content that went over to Netflix. It just makes sense.
What you mean?
They suppressed the content, like the content that's still because we still put clips up on YouTube.
Oh, but they're not letting it get love
at all. No, and why would you?
But there must be some sort of like. What is the government body that regulates content on the airwaves? FTC?
Man, get the fuck.
FCC.
Who they don't give a fuck.
But there should be some FCC, like if you're unfairly throttling content, like that's.
But they've been doing that. They can do that anyway. And by the way, they're not regulated by the FCC. What are we talking about? YouTube's never been regulated by the FCC.
They must have some sort of regulation.
That's always been the issue.
I think that
wouldn't make sense.
None.
Not for streamers.
FCC's for radio.
Well, YouTube wouldn't be regulated by the FCC because YouTube isn't like a national broadcasting thing. They're not like broadcasting TV show. That YouTube is basically like a glorified social media platform where people just talk about, stuff going on and talk about their day. It's a commentary platform basically. It's not a TV station like ABC or NBC. You know what I mean? TNT. Those would have to be regulated by the FCC.
Fucking TV.
There wouldn't be a Brilliant Idiots if they were.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yes, man, go watch The Breakfast Club on Netflix. Listen, guys, we're doing great. That's all I can tell you. And stay tuned for, more announcements considering Breakfast Club on Netflix. Cause what my ultimate goal is, baby. And just let you know that's right around the corner.
What's your ultimate goal?
No, man, I don't want to say.
You just said we know it.
I've told y'all off air. I don't need to. I don't need to show my hands here. Yeah, I'll tell y'all when it happens.
Right.
But it's gonna be great. Okay, it'll be great,
guys.
So hearing that, it sounds almost like, they thought that folks was just gonna follow them wherever they went because they figured the fan base is loyal. They've been there for 15 years since they were just a radio show, and folks will follow them wherever they go. But what they don't understand is these platforms serve different purposes for people. YouTube is a commentary platform. If somebody wants to go and watch y'all do y'all podcast, they're gonna go to YouTube. If somebody's gonna want to listen to the podcast because maybe they're at the gym or whatever, they'll listen to it through Spotify or through Apple Music or whatnot. People also like to engage with other people, based off of what's going on in the content itself. Folks want to comment, folks want to like, folks want to talk to other people about how they feel about whatever. So YouTube, man, not YouTube, Netflix don't have all of that. So people are more accustomed to a YouTube version for what y'all offer, what y'all podcast offer. Folks think about Netflix, they're thinking about sitting on the couch watching a movie or binge watching a TV show. They're not thinking about watching a podcast. People thinking about listening to podcasts. People listen to them while they're cooking. People listen to them while they're driving. And that's another thing. Y'all are, the Breakfast Club, so y'all usually are in the morning. Folks ain't really queuing up Netflix in the morning. So I don't know who actually made the decision for them to move to Netflix. Was it iHeart or was it them? But I do know they all got paid a good deal to move over there. Maybe Netflix is trying to take away viewership from YouTube for certain things. I don't know. But I do understand that if they wanted things to stay the same, they were better off staying with YouTube because people are going to watch y'all content a lot more on YouTube than they are anywhere else. Y'all, that's just pretty much how it goes. Y'all thought y'all was kind of bigger than the social media landscape program, but all of these apps and whatnot platforms, they serve a purpose. That's why when people have videos, you will see different clips of the same video on different platforms because they all serve different purposes. Instagram it started out for people to be able to document their lives through photo, then became video and everything. But Instagram kind of just swallowed up smaller apps and pretty much in their app became everything, right? Because they swallowed up Vine, became Vine. They tried to swallow up TikTok. TikTok is almost like the Wild Wild West. That's where people go to have fun, over on TikTok. Facebook, people write their dissertations over there on Facebook. X is where you go to just be wild, racist, and whatever else you decide you want to be on whatever day you decide to log into X. But YouTube was always a place where people could go and listen to other folks' commentary on situations and current events and things like that. So y'all are trying to move something that's basically commentary, a commentary podcast, to Netflix, where people are going to watch TV shows and movies, no different than, Prime or Paramount Plus, HBO Max, or anything like that. Folks aren't going to watch podcasts on those platforms. YouTube would have been y'all best bet. I don't know if y'all felt like y'all wasn't making enough money on YouTube where y'all had to take the deal, but if y'all talking about engagement, yeah, YouTube probably would have been better for y'all to stay at. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the Breakfast Club's move from YouTube to Netflix. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that other the other podcast companies that move to Netflix, are they having the same problems? You know, let me know what y'all think about that down in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I have another video, because I will have another video.
The Truth TV. Subscribe, like, and comment.